there, Revivers and Thrivers. Welcome back to the Revive Then Thrive podcast. I'm Hallelujah Adams, LMFT and relational therapist. And today we're stepping into one of the hardest places partners and loved ones find themselves. That moment when both people feel stuck, walled off, misunderstood, defensive, shut down. This is episode 16, Caught in the Crossfire, when defend, criticize, and freeze take over. You might resonate with this episode if you've ever had a fight where one of you feels attacked and the other feels like they just disappeared inside, or where everything you try to say gets misinterpreted and your loved one either lashes out or checks out. Sometimes it's not just pursue or withdraw, it's defend, criticize, freeze. And both people feel alone. Today we're unpacking what's really happening in those moments, not just behaviorally, but emotionally, neurobiologically, and relationally. And most importantly, we're going to explore how we can begin to map these patterns with compassion and clarity. Let's begin here. Every defensive move, every criticism, every withdrawal, every silence is trying to solve something. Underneath these patterns, we often find fear and shame and unmet need. Let me give you a common scenario. One loved one, she would say things like, "You never think of me. I'm doing everything alone." And the other, he'd shut down. He'd say, "Why are you always attacking me?" Or, "I can't do anything right." Sometimes he wouldn't say anything at all. From the outside, it looked like classic criticize, defend. But inside, she felt abandoned, scared. Her protests were her way of reaching. And him, he felt like a failure, like there was no safe way to respond. So he froze. In emotionally focused therapy, we don't stop at who's doing what. We slow the cycle way down and ask, what's happening inside that drives this pattern? When our brains perceive emotional threat, especially in intimate relationships, our nervous systems can go into fight, flight, or freeze. We briefly explored last episode what Gottman's research calls flooding. When your body is so dysregulated, you literally can't access empathy, logic, or even curiosity. That's not you being broken. That's your brain doing what it was wired to do: protect you. For some, this protection shows up as defending, counter-criticizing, justifying. For others, it's retreating into silence or freezing in place. For others still, it might be trying to stay calm while completely numbing out. Disorganized or blended attachment strategies, especially those formed in early experiences of inconsistency, trauma, or unmet needs, can create these exact moments. And when both people are stuck in survival mode, it can feel like there's no clear way out. So what do we do? Relational Thriving's 1. We begin by mapping the cycle, not just the behavior, but the emotional logic underneath it. Here's a gentle invitation. Take a moment to reflect or journal. When I defend, what am I trying to protect? When I criticize, what longing is hiding underneath? When I freeze, what feels too overwhelming to face? Relational Thriving's 2. Now take that reflection one layer deeper. What does my nervous system feel in those moments? Is it my racing heart, shallow breath, numbness? Relational Thriving's 3. Once you can track what's happening in your body, begin to ask, what would I need to feel safe enough to stay engaged, even just a little longer? Relational Thriving's 4. From an attachment perspective and an EFT, we often say the problem isn't you, it's the dance. And once we can name that together, that cycle we get stuck in, we can begin to soften it. Here are a few simple somatically grounded tools you can try. Relational Thriving's 5. For the criticizer, pause before the next protest. Place your hand on your heart and say internally, this hurt matters. Let me honor it and share it with care. Try beginning with, I miss you in these moments, or I feel alone and I need you. Relational Thriving 6. For the defender or the freezer, practice recognizing your flooding signs. Give yourself a 30-second sensory anchor. Feel your feet. Name 5 things you see. And then try saying, I'm here, but I'm getting overwhelmed. Can we slow this down? These are not magic words, but they are bridges back to each other. Here's the heart of it. These reactive strategies, whether it's defending, criticizing, or freezing, they're adaptive. They're what you learn to do when connection felt unsafe. But you don't have to stay in survival mode forever. With awareness, safety, and new emotional experiences, partners, families, and loved ones can create new patterns, a new dance. You can move from being stuck in the crossfire to standing side by side, looking at the cycle together, not each other as the enemy. That's the first step toward relational healing. Thank you so much for listening today. If this episode resonated with you, share, subscribe, and click the bell. You also might find our free companion worksheet helpful. It's designed to help you map your own cycle with compassion and clarity. And make sure to join me next time for our final episode in this Attachment in Action series. Episode 17, From Pattern to Bond, Creating a New Way of Reaching. We'll take everything we've explored, attachment strategies, conflict patterns, emotional safety, and show you how to turn that insight into a new kind of connection. Until then, be gentle with your heart. The walls we build to survive can become doors to deeper love, with the right support, safety, and courage. Take care and see you next time. Hugging your hearts.